Hi everyone, welcome back to another video. If you don't know me, my name is Katie. I'm Guglielmo Fine Art, and this week I wanted to record a quick video while I'm working on a current commission. I had done a 10-minute painting challenge in the past, and I thought that video was a lot of fun to make, and it's been a few years since I've done it, and I kind of just wanted an updated version, but instead of painting this time, I just wanted to do like a quick sketch in pen. Well, I went into this drawing honestly not knowing what I wanted to draw. I spent about 30 minutes looking on Pinterest trying to find something to draw, which I normally do a lot. And I wasn't really drawn to anything in particular, so I honestly just went into this drawing not knowing what I was going to do or how I was going to go about the composition, which is why you kind of can see me eyeballing things in the first like minute or so, kind of placing slow lines, not really sure what it's going to end up looking like, just, thinking, okay, I knew I was wanted to draw trees because that's something I enjoy drawing and painting, and it's really easy for me to do with pen. I have experience drawing trees, and then as I was drawing in a path, and I thought, okay, I'll add some mountains, maybe some clouds, and some hills. I probably, if I were to do this again, I would have a more planned idea of what I was going to do, but I still think that it was a good exercise to do, and I am pretty satisfied with how the drawing turned out. So you can see here, I'm kind of just outlining more trees. I wanted to create sort of like a forest that led down a path and you could like see mountains in the back. At first I wanted to draw a lot of trees and I remembered I'm only drawing for 10 minutes, so I'm probably not going to be able to do so. I think in this moment I was drawing way too slowly. I still was kind of not really sure what I was doing. I also wasn't paying attention to the time, which I definitely should have. You can see me pausing here. This is when I got inspired actually by a painting that I saw recently of these trees, and it was like the light was hitting the trees and you could see all these different like shadows on the path. So I thought that maybe I'll add a sun and then have the sun rays kind of peeking through the trees and you can see the shadows from the leaves and the trees on the path. Spent a lot of detail into this first tree. I think it looked nice, but also I wasn't paying attention to the fact that it's already 3 minutes in and I've kind of only drawn a tree. In this moment, I wasn't liking all the empty space on the ground, and I knew I couldn't make something super detailed, so I decided to add just like a quick bush in front of some of the trees and some grass, just so I could get more of an idea of what I wanted to draw and how I wanted to bring the whole drawing together. Throughout the whole drawing, I'm kind of just jumping around to different things, different trees, different clouds, different bushes. As you can see, I drew literally a couple strands of grass, and then I went back to drawing the trees. That's definitely the ADHD artist in me, but that's okay. It kind of also helps me to remain engaged with my drawings. I kind of like to go in and add different things at different times, work on different things, which is easier to do when I'm drawing than when I'm painting because I don't have to worry about colors, especially with just a black and white pen drawing like this. For people who do experience art block, I do recommend working in different mediums and just figuring out what works for you. And for me, I like doing acrylic paintings for more of my detailed pieces. I do them for my commissions, and if I have the time to work on something, I'll do oil paints. And if I'm looking, for something like this, just a quick drawing or painting in between my bigger projects, I love working in gouache paints and pen and marker drawings. So here I'm adding in some more shading, just trying to kind of get a sense of the shadows and the contrast. I'm not too worried about what the final mountains are going to look like. I know they're not going to be as detailed as some of my paintings, just on a time constraint wise, and also not using a reference photo, which I normally wouldn't recommend, but this is just more of a for fun exercise rather than something I'm spending a lot of time and detail in. So here I'm kind of outlining the mountains and the horizon line, just going over making some of the lines darker. So even though with the shading you can still see the shapes and the objects clearly. So this moment is when I looked at my phone that was recording and realized that I've already passed 5 minutes, and I was like, wow, that went by a lot faster than I thought it was. So now I'm kind of really rushing to put in the shadows and different shapes, and this is kind of where my camera starts getting a little shaky because my recording setup is not that great at the moment, but it's okay. I still like making these little videos. So here's kind of what I was talking about earlier, where I was going in with the shadows on the path. The light source isn't very great quality. The shadows don't make a lot of sense, but it's okay because I kind of was just trying to also experiment with texture, which is something I wanted to create in this drawing. I knew that the shapes and the sizes of things weren't going to be perfect, so I wanted to really use different techniques with my pen. I kind of did circular motions for the trees, which is a great way to draw pine trees in really quickly. And later on, I end up doing some cross hatching just, to make the ground not so flat, because at this moment, I have like 4 minutes left and I still have barely touched the ground except for the path. I knew that whatever I ended up finishing, I didn't want to have a blank white ground. In my head, I was imagining this like really grassy forest scene, which I knew at this point in time I wasn't going to be able to finish completely how I wanted. But that's kind of the point of this challenge, is just, to see what you can do in 10 minutes, challenge yourself. I kind of get a little more sloppy with the trees here on out. I was just trying to finish all the trees that I had blocked out. But I still was enjoying drawing this. It's not my best work or close to anything that I would consider really great, but I think it's important to still not focus on making every single art piece perfect, which is something I definitely struggle with. I feel like as I go on, I'm always like looking at the little details, but when you're working this fast, you kind of can't really focus on the little flaws. You kind of have to keep moving your pen, which is what I really enjoyed about this. I don't think it's anything particularly amazing, but I think that I had a lot of fun drawing it, and that's kind of the point of doing this. So here I'm adding in a little bit more trees just so it's not so bare in the back. And with 2 minutes left, this is where the camera gets a lot more shaky. I added in some cross hatches in the corner just so it wouldn't be so blank. I definitely wasn't able to draw as much grass as I would have liked to, but I still, enjoyed the process of doing it. I am tempted to redo this drawing and, take more time and see what I can develop fully when I'm not restricted on time. I really do like drawing nature scenes. It's what I have most fun with. I definitely like doing my pet portraits and other things, but drawing trees is definitely one of my favorite things to draw. So at this point, I only had 1.5 minutes left, and I really underestimated how fast it goes. You could see the difference in how fast I'm moving here compared to the beginning of the video. If I were to do this challenge again, I definitely would try and work faster, have a better idea of what I'm gonna do. But I still like the way it turned out. I think that I got in a lot of texture and a lot of shadows that I wanted. The trees definitely have the most contrast, or definitely the darkest point in the drawing, which is why I was trying to go in again and make the ground a little darker. There's definitely room for improvement. Yeah, that's where I kind of messed up the sun by outlining it a bit too much, but yeah, I still think that it was a really fun process, and I hope you enjoyed this video. If you made it this far, I really appreciate you watching it, and if you want to see some of my more refined art, I do have a lot of videos on my channel. Doing watercolor paintings and sketches and acrylic paintings. A lot of them are older. I did make this channel when I was fairly young, but I'm gonna try and stick to a video every week. It's kind of been difficult lately with school and working on this commission, but even on weeks where I am working on bigger projects that I can't really record, I do like to make these small little videos where I kind of can update people and maybe inspire people to also join this challenge. So yeah, that was 10 minutes. Here I'm putting my pen down. And the most satisfying part of any drawing with masking tape is taking it off. I do think the white border helped to make it look more refined. And plus, it's always fun to, take the tape off, and it's easy to keep the drawing on the table that way. But yeah, here's the finished project. I hope you enjoyed. Here's just me going in, showing all the little details. You can see all the scribbly lines, different textures that I did. And yeah, here's the finished piece. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching. I'm going to be giving away this drawing to one lucky randomly selected winner. For every postcard that you buy for the next week, it's going to be one entry into the giveaway, and every print is 2 entries. I will announce the winner 1 week from today on May 4th on my Instagram. So if you're interested in this drawing as well as some of my other artwork, please check out my prints and postcards on my website.